Hi, I am Hans Wilhelm, and in this video, in the Life Explained series, I will talk a little bit more about the dynamic of karma, how it actually works. Karma is the law that brings back the results of all the thoughts, words and actions to the person performing them. Just like a boomerang, they sooner or later come back to us with the same or similar effect and result. Now, let's have a look how this karma law actually works. Let's take an extreme case to make it more clear. Imagine we are stealing money from another, like a robber. For instance, here is our gun and we ask him, give us our wallet, and here is his wallet. We now have his wallet. Now, this action, just like any emotionally charged thought, word or deed, gets immediately stored in, firstly, our body, in our cells, or it may even affect our genes, and I will come back on this one later. Our soul, which is sort of inside our body, it stores it just like a computer. The Akashi records, these are the Akashi records. The word Akashi or Akasha comes from Sanskrit. It means sky, space or ether. It's just like a corona around our planet that stores all thoughts, emotions and actions of mankind. Many psychics like Edgar Cayce and others could read these records and help people. And most of all, our action is also stored in the spiritual and semi-spiritual and material planets of similar vibration. These are distant storing planets that work very much like the cloud program of our computer. And finally, of course, our action is also stored in the soul of the person we have harmed. So here we have it in our body, in our soul, in the Akashic records, in the planets, and in the person we have harmed. As I said, it is the law of sowing and reaping. It's like a scale here. Now, we have sowing here, and this is the first half of our action, and we have just done this. We have done the sowing. But life or love is so wonderful. It makes sure that we will be able to experience the other half of our action. So it becomes a total and complete experience for the benefit and growth of our soul. So here is the reaping of the scale. Because only when we experience the whole cycle will we fully grasp the effects of our actions. Now imagine some time has passed and here we are again. A little full and richer because we have stolen this guy's money, and here we are. Now the moment the distant depository planets are full or have reached a certain position, a constellation, the information that we have uploaded will now be downloaded back to us as karma. This usually takes place in the same lifetime. But very often it can take many lives later that we suddenly are facing the results of our own actions from many years or lives ago. For instance, it could be that somebody now robs us, or we suddenly lose all our possessions. Sometimes it can be the soul of the very same person we have harmed in the past, but not necessarily so. Important is that we are now experiencing the effects, the other half of our action. And in some cases, it can also result in an illness or a blow of faith, and it completes the circle or balances the scales. But there is a way to dissolve these karmic effects. It is the law of grace. Also meaning the path of forgiveness. The law of grace requires us to open our heart and truly repent, meaning feeling into the person we have hurt and imagining the hurt and loss the other person has felt as deeply and as strongly as we can, we want to make sure that the strong feelings of remorse are stored in our soul and body, so that if we are ever tempted to do a similar crime in the future, we will remember the pain that we have inflicted and hopefully not commit it again. Forgiveness also means that we have to go to the person and ask for forgiveness and offer to make amends. Only when the other person has truly and fully forgiven us and accepted our offer of amends, will it be possible that the karma is dissolved. This is the law of grace. But this only works if we also change our behavior and no longer commit such crimes. It is the same grace, mercy, compassion, and forgiveness that we must give to anybody who we think has trespassed against us or hurt us. Now, if the other person or soul has not forgiven us, we are bound to that person like with a big iron chain for as long as it takes him to forgive us. It can take hundreds of years, and therefore forgiveness and to forgive is so important. You may want to check out my videos on forgiveness. Now, remember what I said earlier, that our actions are also stored in our bodies, in our genes to be precise. Why? Because our offspring will now carry this information also in their genes. It most likely will not affect them, but it will become important when we are ready to incarnate again and need a physical body that vibrates closest to our soul vibration. And voila, here is the little baby, the physical body of a baby that has the same genes that we ourselves have sown long time ago. Amazing how the cycle closes again. I'm always at awe about the perfection of the spiritual laws and how they all are here to serve us. By the way, some of this information that I have shared here with you comes from the amazing teachings of Gabriele von Würzburg, who has deepened my understanding on the subject with her incredible insights. And if you want to know more about her work, you can go to this website. Her work has been translated into many languages. Now, the interesting thing is that none of us has to create or endure negative karma ever. We are always given the choices between insight or pain. Insight is when we listen to our inner guidance or simply follow the basic suggestions of the 10 Commandments and the golden rule that says don't do unto others that you don't want them to do unto you. But if we use our free will in opposition to the 10 Commandments and the golden rule, we will learn through the consequences via pain. Mankind is a slow and reluctant learner, and therefore many of us prefer to learn the hard way through pain. Although for thousands of years we are told not to kill, not to steal, not to harm anybody, we still do it and we think we can get away with it. We can't. We never could. But that again is not bad in itself. Everything is always for the best. The fact that we are now have to endure the pain we have inflicted on others will help us to understand their predicament better. It makes us more compassionate, more humane. So in the end, in this friendly universe, everything always turns out for the best for us. This includes the law of karma. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you again soon.